This weather report presented by Signature Roofing and Guttering. We have you covered.
Good evening, Livio, Regano, tonight's weather. Severe thunderstorms fired up for the third consecutive afternoon in many places across Queensland today, but clear skies have returned to the Sunshine Coast, and boy, was it hot today. We're expecting the brutal sun to keep burning through the weekend, though slightly cooler at night. Now, today was a bona fide furnace, a top of 34 degrees at Maroochy Airport and Tewantin, yet oddly only 31 in Gympie, which is usually hotter than the coast. Might have something to do with the 26 millimetres of rain that soaked into the soil there last night. Humidity was slightly down on yesterday at 67%. Satellite loop shows a sort of a quiet dome over southeast Queensland. It's what we expected because early this morning a trough passed through and pushed the humid air further north, and you can see the bright white blobs going north of about Bundaberg. That's where the trough is at the moment, and north of that area it's been stormy. That'll disappear tomorrow as well, but at the moment we're in the dry zone for now. So today's chart, you can see the story about the trough here. It's that dotted line straddling the coast. This was taken at 10 o'clock this morning, and you can see the trough has already passed through the Sunshine Coast. Hence, we got the drier southwesterlies. Now, at this time of year, southwesterlies are no longer cold because the deserts from which they're coming are getting very, very warm as the sun gets higher. Tomorrow's chart, the trough moves completely offshore, and now we have a southwesterly wind dominating. It'll again be hot, but a bit cooler at night. A bright sunny day, though. On the outlook chart, more of the same, but by Monday we start to get a northerly coming on the rear side of that high again, and it'll start to get very humid again. Now the latest from the Weather Bureau, boating forecast for Sunshine Coast waters, southwest to southeast winds blowing 10 to 15 knots most of the weekend with seas under a metre. Big northerly on Monday, as I said, up to 30 knots by the afternoon, for which a warning will be issued. Mid-morning high tide tomorrow, and it won't be as large as the tides we've recently seen. We're slowly moving away from new moon and approaching the neap tide. The South East Coast District, a sunny day, not quite as hot. Maroochydore 17 up to 29 degrees, Narrabor 31 and Gympie 32. Looking ahead, the next rain opportunity will be Monday and especially Tuesday. It'll come in the form of a trough passage with a band of thunderstorms followed by a cool change. And that's all, folks. If you're new to 7 Local Weather and confused about charts and whatnot, I'll try every so often to recycle some old educational snippets and throw in some new ones as well. Over time, you'll hopefully pick up the tools of the trade. Now it's over to Robbie Sherwell with the Surf Report.
Thanks, Livio. It looks like we're in for light winds this weekend at last. We're looking at light southwesters in the morning, swinging all the way around to light east-northeasters in the afternoon. The swell is only going to be around that 2/3 of a metre or so, still seeing about 9-second intervals from the easterly direction. So it is worth checking all the beach breaks over the weekend. It is a low tide early with a high tide between 10 and 11 a.m. The better place will be those open beaches up between Peregian and Sunshine, Alexandra Bay, also down around Marcoola, Twin Waters, Northern Maroochydore and the Kawana stretch. That's for surfing. For swimming, looks like a great weekend coming up. The water has risen to about 23 degrees. Please remember, the ocean's always a dangerous place. Only swim between the red and yellow flags. Have a wonderful weekend across the coast beaches. Now it's back to you, Rob.
Good on you, Robbie. You have a nice weekend too, mate. Lovely having your company, folks. Anything you'd like to catch up on again, you can find it on our 7plus app or our page, 7news.com.au. Have a wonderful weekend. See you Monday night. Good night.